And that's in the world. Correct me if I'm wrong or right.
They can't run.
Since I have had the pleasure of joining this podcast, we talk about education and we talk about the injustices in the education department as it pertains to administrators, teachers, the people that are involved to educating our children. Look at that shit, bro. That alone. You telling me that somebody who's in charge of educating the next generation can't afford a place to live, can't afford a place to come home to and rest peacefully, get a good night's rest, have a decent meal, and provide for their children?
It shows the priorities of our
That shows
society.
the priorities of our society, bro, and our government is fucked up. These people can't even afford health care, dude. Like they get fucked. They
Yeah,
can't even
a
afford
lot of
health care for their
teachers
children. A lot of
they have to have
them
another
are
job. They
yeah,
have to
they have to
have to.
go work a part-time fucking job just to get by. So you mean to tell me I got to deal with your children all day, these privileged kids all day get talked to any kind of way and can't do shit, and then I got to leave this stressful environment and go to another stressful environment?
And
That's
you,
why I say that teachers don't need guns in schools, because one of these teachers going to snap.
yeah, they gonna be the shooter.
Exactly.
The teacher is the shooter because
Exactly.
they stressed out. They done bought the school supplies. They got kids in there that's hungry. They ain't ate nothing. That's another part of this, though. You know what's happening? Like they're driving. We was driving to the charter schools for the longest because the schools is just ass. Now they're pushing you to do homeschooling.
Nice.
You know, you still have to pay,
Run
right?
dishwater. You're
You
not
still have to.
washing dish sink. Okay, run dishwater. That's expensive for you to run the water and then you so run a thing of dishwater.
You you still
No,
have
it's
to pay for the
sorry, chocolate.
homeschooling. Yeah, yeah, you still have to pay for the homeschooling. You still got to pay the government and shit, and you doing all the work. You know what I'm saying? And another side part of that is related to the food. Like a lot of families rely on that school lunch program. You know, it really makes a difference. You got all of these parents that are living check to check, trying to make ends meet. That school lunch is a help. You know, pushing the kids. These are these parents aren't going to be the parents that's going to be able to pay put their kid in the charter school. So, but then you have. I remember back in the days where they were like kind of looking down on homeschooling. When I was younger, they looked down on homeschooling, and it was like they were like the kid's not going to have social skills. They're not going to know how to deal with other
Of
people.
course they'll have social skills, because I can tell you right now, bro. If let's just say my wife homeschool my two children, okay? She follows, let's just say they get up, they're in class by 8 a.m. 11, 12 o'clock, they have a break. Their break leads into a lunch break. So 11 o'clock, boom, they out of the house, they go to a park. You know how many children are homeschooled within our area, the Houston area, that are literally their parents are having picnics at a park, and they're involved in so much more than our kids will ever be involved in because of the freedom, and it's like this bullshit. Like it kills me. I used to go and I haven't been since my daughter's been in middle school, because of course she's gotten older. She's like, no, you can just bring me lunch, daddy. You ain't having lunch with me. I get it. She a big girl now. But when I used to go and have lunch with her at elementary school, dog, it sickened me to see how they're training these kids to be institutionalized. These kids got to walk in a single file line and they cannot speak. And if they look at another classmate going the opposite way, the teacher, hey, pay attention, turn around. That's the shit that I used to do to inmates when I was a correctional officer. That's fucked up, bro. That is fucked up. You know, and they say, oh well, it's to keep order. It's to keep order in the school. You know, like what the fuck you mean to keep order? These children aren't animals. You know what I'm saying? They're not criminals. Like that shit is sickening, bro. Like I'm telling you, I'm talking anybody that's listening to this podcast, if you are a father and your children are in elementary school, go have lunch with them and watch as these teachers bring these kids down to the cafeteria and watch. This shit is programmed out. It starts in the school system. The programming.
Yeah.
And then they wonder why these kids run wild when they go out to recess because you've been making them fucking shut up and walk in a single file line all day. They got to ask permission to go piss.
Yeah, that shit suck.
You got to ask permission to go piss. I get it. Okay. The teacher needs to know where you're going. I understand that. But literally, I got to interrupt class by my hand being raised. And then Miss Booker is not paying attention to my hand being raised. And I'm about to piss myself. So I run out of class. And then I run out of class to go piss. And then the teacher or the teacher's assistant come down, grab me by the neck and fucking damn near strangle me because she's pissed the fuck off. Like, dog, that's institutionalized, man. That shit you do to criminals. It's
Yeah,
inhumane.
situation like that happened. It
It happened in Houston.
And
It happened a couple of weeks
mad.
ago. And it's
Yeah.
like, it's crazy, bro. It's nuts. But at the end of the day, these teachers' hands are tied too. Let me not just, their hands are tied, bro. It's a bullshit ass curriculum that they have to teach by. They can't deviate from it because if one child goes home and says, "Oh, my teacher's teaching this here," and the parent comes and complains, that teacher's in trouble. Like it's sickening, bro. Like they're training our kids to be fucking zombie robots. They're almost training our kids to be criminals, if you ask me.
They call it the school to prison pipeline.
The school to prison pipeline, exactly. And that's why I can't blame parents that have the money and the means to send their kids off for a better education because dog, public education sucks, man.
Yeah, you can't blame them. But, how did we get here and what can we do about it? And what I'm saying is like it's just another pinch on the parents because how many parents really do have time to homeschool their kids and still be able to pay their bills? Like if you're a single
Not many.
parent, that's all the way out of. That's not a lot. Unless you are a trust fund or something, and you're getting child support that covers all your bills
The
or
only
something.
thing that I can say, and I don't mean to interrupt you, I apologize, but I remember before I went into foster care, right? We used to sell candy in the community, in the neighborhoods. You remember that shit? We used to sell candy and stuff and go around like for the programs for the YMCA and Tidwell Park and stuff. We go around and sell candies, and I never forget. We went to a predominantly white neighborhood in Kingwood one time selling candy, and there was a community where there was like these 4 or 5 households where these people were teachers and they left the school system and they homeschool kids. You know, like your child could have went to them, went to their schooling, right? And the people in the community paid them a salary, if you will.
Type shit.
The